There is a power that moves mountains, a force that defies logic, a divine presence that transforms the unseen into reality. It is not found in struggle, nor in worry, nor in the restless pursuit of solutions. It is discovered in surrender. The moment you release your grip on the problem, the answer emerges. The secret is simple. Give it to God, and He will do the impossible for you. You have been conditioned to believe that effort alone produces results, that worry is necessary to prove your concern, that fear is the price of responsibility. But what if the very act of worrying is blocking your blessing? What if the struggle is not proof of your faith, but proof of your doubt? For the one who truly trusts in God has no need to wrestle with what is already finished in the divine mind. Do not beg for what is already yours. You are not pleading with a reluctant God. He is not withholding blessings until you have suffered enough. He has already given, already answered, already made a way. It is not your striving that brings forth the impossible. It is your unwavering trust in His unseen hand. To believe in God is to believe that He is working beyond the veil of physical reality, aligning all things according to His perfect will. Close your eyes for a moment and see beyond the visible. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders as you release the burden into His hands. Can you sense the shift? That is the moment faith takes hold. That is the moment impossibility begins to crumble. For what is impossible to man is not impossible to God. If you knew without a doubt that the answer was already on its way, would you still worry? If you could see the finished work, would you still fear? The unseen is more real than the seen. The invisible forces of God are at work even now, orchestrating miracles beyond your understanding. But you must allow it. You must step aside and let God be God. The greatest faith is not in effort, but in rest. Resting in the absolute knowing that He is in control, resting in the certainty that He has never failed and will never fail. Your doubts cannot change His plan. Your worries cannot delay His promises. The only thing that can keep you from your blessing is your refusal to let go. Lift your heart in gratitude, not anxiety. Walk as if the miracle has already occurred. Speak as if the promise has already been fulfilled. Let your mind dwell only on the goodness of God, and you will see the impossible bow before you. The secret is not in trying. It is in trusting. The moment you truly surrender, the power of heaven moves in ways beyond your comprehension. Give it to God, and He will do what no man can do. There is a sacred law and unshakable truth that governs all things. It is not dependent on human logic, nor is it swayed by the conditions of this world. It is the divine principle of faith, the understanding that what you seek is already yours in the unseen. The secret is not in effort, not in pleading, not in exhausting yourself with worry. The secret is in surrender. Give it to God, and He will do the impossible for you. You have spent too much time wrestling with what should be released, holding tightly to burdens that were never meant for you to carry. You analyze, you strategize, you try to force the outcome. But have you ever noticed that the more you struggle, the more impossible things seem? The weight of worry does not move the mountain, it builds another one. The chains of fear do not bring solutions, they tighten around you, and all along the answer has been waiting, just beyond the walls of your resistance. When you finally release it into the hands of God, when you step back and allow divine power to flow unrestrained, that is when the impossible becomes possible. That is when doors you never saw before begin to open. That is when paths are cleared, opportunities appear, and miracles unfold. Not because you worked harder, not because you figured it all out, but because you trusted in the one who already knows the way. Faith is not about waiting to see before believing. It is about believing before you see. It is walking in the assurance that God is already working behind the scenes, shifting things in your favor, preparing the way where there seems to be none. Your job is not to micromanage His divine process. Your job is to rest in the certainty of His promise, to let go and let God move in ways that human reasoning cannot comprehend. What is it that burdens your heart today? What is the thing that keeps you awake at night? The weight you carry in silence, the problem that feels unsolvable. Do you not know that God is already aware? Do you not see that He has already gone before you? If you truly understood that the answer exists in the realm of the unseen, would you still doubt? If you truly believe that God has never failed and will never fail, would you still fear? You do not need to chase after what is already yours. The blessings of God are not earned through struggle, they are received through faith. The moment you let go of the need to control, the moment you step into absolute trust, the moment you declare that it is done, even before it manifests, that is the moment the impossible begins to bow before you. Think of the birds in the sky. They do not toil, they do not worry about tomorrow, and yet they are provided for. The flowers of the field do not strain to bloom, and yet they are clothed in beauty beyond compare. If God provides for them so effortlessly, how much more will He provide for you? If He takes care of the smallest details of creation, do you not think He has already taken care of your need? The only thing standing between you and the manifestation of His power is your own resistance, your own unwillingness to surrender. You have spent too much time in fear, too much time in hesitation, too much time in the prison of doubt. But you were never meant to live that way. You were created to walk in divine authority, to move through life with the certainty that all things are working together for your good. Every delay is divine timing. Every closed door is protection. Every detour is leading you to something greater than you imagined. When you release your grip on worry, when you stop asking how and simply trust that it is already done, you will witness the impossible unfold before your eyes. Healing that seemed unattainable will flow into your life. Provisions that seemed out of reach will find their way to you. Relationships will be restored. Paths will be made straight, and what once seemed like an obstacle will become a testimony of God's power. But you must be willing to release it. You must be willing to step back and allow divine power to do what human effort cannot. You must be willing to declare, even in the midst of uncertainty, that it is finished, that it is already done. For God is not waiting for you to beg Him. He is waiting for you to believe Him. When you pray, do not pray from a place of desperation. Pray from a place of knowing. Do not speak as though you are trying to convince God to move on your behalf. Speak as though you are thanking Him for what is already in motion. Speak as though you are standing in the reality of the miracle before it even appears. Because faith is not about hoping something might happen. Faith is the conviction that it already has. The moment you shift from worry to trust, from doubt to certainty, you align yourself with the divine flow of God's power. You step into the realm where the impossible is made possible. You walk in a reality where obstacles are no longer barriers, but stepping stones. You no longer fight battles that have already been won. You no longer struggle for what is already secured. Look back on your life. How many times has God come through for you? How many situations did you think would break you, yet you are still standing? How many moments did you believe there was no way out, yet He made a way? If He has never failed you before, why would He fail you now? If He has proven time and time again that He is faithful, why do you still question? It is not for you to figure out how. It is not for you to stress over the details. It is simply for you to believe, to step into the knowing that He who promised is faithful, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion, that He who spoke the world into existence is more than capable of handling the concerns of your life. You have nothing to lose by surrendering, but everything to gain. You have carried this burden long enough. You have wrestled with fear for too long. Release it now. Release it fully. Not halfway, not with one foot still in doubt, but completely. Let it go and do not take it back. Give it to God and never again wonder if He is working. For the moment you release it, the moment you step into the certainty of faith, the moment you declare that it is done, you will see the impossible bow before you. The mountain will move. The chains will break. The way will be made. Not by your effort, not by your worry, but by the power of the one who holds all things in his hands. Give it to God. Trust without hesitation. Walk as though the promise is already fulfilled. Speak as though the answer is already here. For the secret is not in striving. The secret is in surrender. And when you surrender fully, you will see that what once seemed impossible has already been done. There is a divine order to life, an unseen force that governs all things. It is not chaos, nor is it random. It is precise, intentional, and beyond human comprehension. Every event, every moment, every challenge is unfolding exactly as it should. But when you allow worry to take root, when you grip onto the illusion of control, you step out of alignment with that divine order. You fight battles that are not yours to fight. You try to force what was meant to flow. You stand in the way of the very blessing that is seeking you. Surrender is not weakness, it is power. It is the quiet confidence of one who knows that God has already worked it out. It is the unwavering trust that does not require proof to believe. It is the certainty that even in silence, even when nothing appears to be happening, everything is happening. The moment you release your need to figure it all out, the moment you truly let go, the impossible begins to move. You have spent so much time asking, praying, pleading, hoping, but have you ever stopped to receive? Have you ever allowed yourself to dwell in the reality that it is already done? Because the truth is, God has never withheld anything from you. He is not waiting for you to prove yourself. He is not delaying your breakthrough to test you. The moment you align yourself with faith, the moment you step fully into trust, you enter the space where miracles occur effortlessly. Trust lives in intercourse with. Think of a river flowing effortlessly towards the ocean. It does not struggle, it does not force its way, it simply flows. But if you attempt to block it, if you try to redirect its course with your own limited understanding, you create resistance. The water does not stop, it simply builds pressure. And the more you resist, the more turbulent things become. But the moment you remove the barriers, the moment you allow it to move as it was always meant to, peace is restored. This is the nature of surrender. This is the nature of faith. When you hold on to worry, when you refuse to release your burdens to God, you are standing in the way of His perfect plan. You are trying to force what was meant to unfold naturally. You are allowing fear to block what has already been given to you. But when you surrender, when you truly place it in His hands and walk away from the worry, you make room for His power to flow unhindered. And in that space, the impossible becomes reality. You have prayed for an answer, but have you created space for it to arrive? You have asked for a miracle, but are you prepared to receive it? Because faith is not simply believing, it is knowing. It is walking in the reality of what you have asked for before it even manifests. It is speaking with the authority of someone who has already seen the outcome. It is moving as if the problem has already been solved. If you truly believed that God was handling it, would you still stress? If you truly trusted that He had already made a way, would you still fear? No, you would walk with peace. You would wake up with confidence. You would rest in the assurance that all things are working in your favor. Because worry is a symptom of doubt, and doubt is what delays the blessing. The moment you step into faith, the moment you allow your heart to rest in trust, the doors that seem closed will open effortlessly. You have nothing to gain by holding on to fear, but everything to gain by surrendering. You have been carrying this weight for too long. It is not yours to carry. It was never meant for you. God has already gone before you, already prepared the way, already set the answer in motion. Your only task is to trust, to let go, to stop looking for proof and start moving in certainty. What you desire is not far from you, the healing you seek, the breakthrough you need, the answer you have been waiting for. It is already done. but you must stop wrestling with it. You must stop trying to force what is meant to flow. You must release it completely, without hesitation, without conditions, without looking back, because the moment you truly let go, the moment you step into absolute trust, you will see the impossible unfold before your very eyes. God is not limited by human logic. He does not operate on your timeline. He does not need circumstances to align in order to move. He is above all things, beyond all things, working through all things. What seems impossible to you is effortless to Him. What feels delayed to you is already in motion. What appears broken to you is already being restored. The only thing required of you is to trust, not halfway, not with one foot still in fear, but completely. You have prayed for open doors, but have you thanked Him for the ones He has already opened? You have asked for guidance, but have you acknowledged the times He has already led you? Gratitude is the language of faith. When you begin to thank God in advance, when you begin to speak as though it is already done, you step into alignment with His divine power. You shift from asking to receiving. You move from waiting to experiencing. Your words carry weight. Your thoughts shape your reality. When you speak from a place of worry, when you allow fear to dictate your thoughts, you reinforce the very thing you are trying to escape. But when you speak in faith, when you declare with conviction that God is in control, you align yourself with the supernatural. You make space for the impossible to manifest. You do not need to beg for what has already been given. You do not need to convince God to bless you. He already has. You simply need to receive, to let go of the resistance, to release the fear, to step into the knowing that it is already done. This is not blind faith. This is divine truth. This is the way things have always worked. The moment you surrender, the moment you give it to God and stop worrying, you step into the realm of miracles. Nothing is too hard for Him. No situation is beyond His reach. No obstacle is too great for His power. What you see as a dead end, He sees as an opportunity for His glory. What you perceive as impossible, He knows is already resolved. The only question is, will you trust Him? Will you release it? Will you stop trying to figure it all out and simply allow His power to move through your life? You have waited long enough. You have carried this weight for too many nights, questioned for too many days, allowed fear to take up space in your mind for too long. It is time to let go. It is time to give it to God and never take it back. It is time to walk as though the answer is already here, to speak as though the breakthrough has already occurred, to move as though the impossible has already been overturned. You were never meant to struggle. You were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to be burdened by what was always meant for God to handle. Step into the knowing. Step into the certainty. Step into the divine reality that all things are already working for your good. And when you do, you will see that what once seemed impossible was simply waiting for you to believe. You must understand that the moment you give it to God, you step into a realm where all things are possible. You no longer live by what you see, by what you hear, or by what the world tells you is real. You live by a deeper truth, a higher law, a divine principle that transcends human understanding. Worry is the mind's desperate attempt to hold on to control, but faith is the spirit's surrender to something far greater. And in that surrender, mountains moved, doors open, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. Every great miracle begins with surrender. Every answered prayer is birthed from trust. Not partial trust, not conditional trust, but absolute, unwavering, unshakable trust. The kind of trust that does not ask when or how, but simply declares it is done. The kind of trust that does not look to circumstances for confirmation, but knows within the depths of its being that God is already working. When you trust, you stop striving. When you trust, you stop forcing. When you trust, you enter into a divine flow where everything unfolds effortlessly. You were never meant to carry the burdens you hold. the weight of worry, the fear of the unknown, the endless struggle of trying to figure everything out, these are not yours to bear. You were created to live in peace, to walk in divine assurance, to rest in the knowledge that God has already gone before you. The battle is not yours, it is His. The solution is not something you must create, it is something you must receive. Your only task is to step out of the way, to release your grip, to allow God to do what only He can do. How many nights have you spent worrying about things that were already resolved? How many days have you allowed fear to steal your joy, only to realize later that God had it handled all along? Look back on your life. Every time you thought there was no way, He made one. Every time you felt abandoned, He was there. Every time you thought the situation was impossible, He turned it around. If He did it before, why do you doubt He will do it again? If He has always been faithful, why do you question Him now? Faith does not operate in hesitation. Faith does not negotiate with fear. Faith does not wait for evidence before believing. Faith speaks, and it is so. Faith declares, and it manifests. Faith knows that even when nothing appears to be happening, everything is happening beneath the surface. Just as a seed is buried in the ground before it breaks through the soil, so too are your prayers taking root before they manifest in your life. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not real. Just because it has not yet appeared does not mean it is not on its way. You must stop living as though your worries have more power than your faith. You must stop speaking as though your problems are bigger than your God. You must stop giving life to fear when you have the ability to command peace. There is power in your words. There is power in your belief. When you speak life, life comes forth. When you speak victory, victory follows. When you speak faith, miracles unfold. You cannot afford to allow doubt to take root in your mind. You cannot afford to let fear have a voice in your life. The moment you silence fear and amplify faith, you activate the supernatural. God is not distant. He is not indifferent to your struggles. He is not unaware of what you need. He has been waiting for you to step into alignment with Him. He has been waiting for you to release your attachment to outcomes, to let go of your need to control, to trust in the unseen rather than the seen. The moment you shift from worry to worship, from fear to faith, from stress to surrender, everything changes. Heaven responds. The impossible bows before you. What once seemed out of reach suddenly finds its way to you effortlessly. You have tried it your way. You have analyzed, planned, strategized, and exhausted yourself trying to make things work. But now it is time to step into a higher way, a way that does not demand struggle, a way that does not require anxiety, a way that simply asks you to believe. When you believe, you stop trying to force doors open and instead watch as they open before you. When you believe, you stop begging for what is already yours and begin to walk as if it is done. When you believe, you live with the peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that nothing can stand in the way of what God has for you. You were not created to live in worry. You were not designed to be consumed by stress. You were meant to live in divine ease, to walk in unwavering confidence, to rest in the knowledge that everything is already handled. But you must release your grip. You must stop trying to control what was never meant to be controlled. You must step out of the way and allow God to be God. Because the moment you do, the moment you truly give it all to Him, the impossible will bow before you and you will see that it was never impossible at all. You must realize that holding on too tightly is what keeps you from receiving. The more you struggle, the more resistance you create. The more you try to figure it all out, the more you entangle yourself in confusion. But when you step back, when you release the burden, when you give it to God completely, without picking it back up, the answers come. The doors swing open. The weight lifts. There is a divine order, a sacred timing, a perfect unfolding happening in your life, and the only thing required of you is trust. Trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you. Trust that what is seeking you is already on its way. Trust that the invisible hand of God is working on your behalf in ways beyond your comprehension. You do not need to chase after what is already yours. You do not need to beg for what heaven has already assigned to you. You do not need to exhaust yourself in the pursuit of what is freely given. What you seek is seeking you. The moment you align with this truth, the moment you stop resisting and start allowing, you will see miracles unfold. Not because you forced them, but because you trust them into being. Not because you worried them into existence, but because you stood in faith, unwavering, unshaken, knowing that what God has promised is already done. Fear will tell you that surrender means weakness, but in truth, surrender is the greatest strength. It is the mind that doubts, but the spirit knows. It is the mind that fears, but the soul is at peace. The moment you shift from the limited perspective of your human understanding to the boundless vision of divine truth, you step into the miraculous. You begin to see beyond the illusion of lack. You begin to understand that what appears to be a delay is only divine preparation. You begin to recognize that nothing is ever truly lost, for in God all things are being rearranged for your highest good. Stop measuring the progress of your life by what you see with your physical eyes. Stop allowing the external world to dictate your faith. The unseen is more real than the seen. The invisible is more powerful than the visible. Every breakthrough begins in the realm of faith before it manifests in the natural. Just because you do not see movement does not mean nothing is happening. Just because you do not hear an answer does not mean heaven is silent. Everything is being orchestrated in perfect harmony, and your only task is to remain in alignment, to hold on to the truth when fear whispers lies, to stand firm in faith when doubt tries to shake you, to declare victory even before the evidence appears. You have spent too much time believing in limitations, too much time worrying about the how, too much time trying to manipulate the outcome instead of resting in the promise. But when did worry ever change anything? When did fear ever open a door? When did doubt ever bring a breakthrough? The moment you step beyond these lower states of being, the moment you rise above the illusion of struggle, you will see that you were never waiting on God. He was always waiting on you. Waiting for you to trust, waiting for you to surrender, waiting for you to let go so He could take over. Nothing is too hard for God. Nothing is beyond His reach. Nothing is impossible when you step into divine partnership. The world will tell you that some things cannot be changed, but the truth is, everything is changeable. The world will tell you that your circumstances are final, but the truth is, circumstances are merely reflections of past thoughts and beliefs. The moment you shift your inner state, your external world must shift to match it. This is the law, this is the truth, this is the power you have been given. You were not meant to live in a constant state of struggle. You were not designed to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were created to walk in divine ease, to move through life with the confidence that everything is always working for your good. But as long as you hold on to fear, as long as you try to control what is not yours to control, you block the very blessings that are meant for you. The moment you let go, the moment you give it all to God, you make space for the miraculous. You allow the impossible to become possible. You open yourself to a life of peace, joy, and effortless manifestation. Look back on your journey. Every time you thought you had reached the end, a way was made. Every time you thought it was over, a new beginning appeared. Every time you felt forgotten, you were being prepared. The same God who brought you through before will do it again. The same power that carried you then is carrying you now, but you must release your grip. You must step out of your own way. You must trust, not just with your words, but with your whole being. Worry is a habit, but so is faith. Fear is a pattern, but so is trust. The choice is yours. You can choose to live in fear, constantly chasing, constantly striving, constantly doubting, or you can choose to live in faith, resting in the assurance that everything is already done. When you choose faith, you activate a power greater than anything you could ever imagine. When you choose trust, you align yourself with the miraculous. When you choose surrender, You position yourself for the impossible to become your reality. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to figure it all out. You simply need to decide right now that you will no longer carry what is not yours to carry, that you will no longer allow fear to dictate your life, that you will no longer question whether God is working, because He is. And when you fully release, when you finally give it all to Him, you will see what you have been waiting for all along. Not because you forced it, not because you worried about it, but because you believed, because you trusted, because you knew that the moment you gave it to God, the impossible became inevitable. You must come to the place where your faith is so unwavering that no storm can shake you, no delay can discourage you, and no obstacle can make you doubt. This is the level where miracles happen. Not in desperation, not in striving, but in stillness, in absolute confidence, in the knowing that what is yours is already yours, that what you have asked for has already been given, and that all you need to do is stand in agreement with heaven's timing. The moment you fully let go of worry, you step into alignment with divine abundance. You step into the reality where nothing is missing, nothing is lacking, and everything you desire is unfolding exactly as it should. Many will say they trust God, yet their actions reveal otherwise. They say they believe, yet they still hold on tightly, trying to control what is beyond their grasp. They still allow doubt to creep in, still allow fear to whisper lies into their hearts. But true faith requires release. It requires you to open your hands, to unclench your grip, to surrender fully and completely. Not halfway, not with conditions, but with the kind of faith that says, even if I do not see the way, I know the way is already made. The kind of faith that refuses to be shaken even when everything in the natural seems impossible. The kind of faith that calls things that are not as though they are, that speaks life into the unseen, that declares victory before the evidence appears. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap, yet they lack nothing. Look at the lilies of the field. They do not labor or spin, yet they are clothed in beauty beyond compare. How much more will your Father in heaven provide for you? How much more will He take care of your needs? Yet you worry, yet you fear, yet you act as though you are alone, as though you have no source, as though the weight of the world rests upon your shoulders. But you were never meant to carry it. You were never meant to strive, to struggle, to live in fear of tomorrow. The moment you hand it over, the moment you truly release every burden, you step into the life you were meant to live. A life of freedom, a life of divine flow, a life where the impossible is not just possible, it is inevitable. Think about the times in your life when you tried to force something to happen. Think about the times you pushed, you pulled, you struggled, yet nothing worked. The doors remained closed. The breakthrough seemed distant. The harder you tried, the more resistance you faced. But what happened when you finally let go? What happened when you stopped forcing and started trusting? Things shifted, doors opened. The very thing you were striving for came effortlessly. This is the divine order. This is how faith works. The moment you stop resisting and start allowing, you enter the flow of God's perfect plan. The moment you let go of the need to control, you make space for the miraculous. Nothing is impossible for the one who believes. This is not just a statement, it is a law. It is an unbreakable truth. If you believe that something is out of reach, it will remain out of reach. If you believe that something is difficult, it will be difficult. But if you believe that all things are working together for your good, if you believe that divine favor surrounds you, if you believe that every closed door is leading you to a better one, then that is exactly what you will experience. It is not about wishful thinking. It is not about empty hope. It is about knowing. Knowing that what is unseen is more real than what is seen. Knowing that what you have prayed for is already in motion. Knowing that even when nothing appears to be happening, everything is happening. How long will you allow fear to rob you of your blessings? How long will you continue to carry burdens that were never yours to carry? How long will you let doubt steal your peace? you must decide, you must choose. You must make up your mind that from this moment forward you will walk in unwavering faith, that you will release every worry, every fear, every doubt, and place it all in the hands of the one who holds all things together. And the moment you do, you will feel the shift. The moment you truly surrender, you will witness doors open effortlessly. The moment you give it to God, you will see the impossible become reality. Let this be the moment you stop striving. Let this be the moment you release every burden. Let this be the moment you choose faith over fear, trust over doubt, peace over worry. Because the truth is, it was never about you figuring it all out. It was never about you making it happen. It was always about your willingness to trust, your willingness to believe, your willingness to let go and allow God to move in ways you never imagined. And when you finally do, when you step into that level of trust, you will not have to chase what is already yours. It will come to you. It will find you, and it will be greater than you ever dreamed. You must understand that the very act of surrender is not weakness. It is the greatest strength. It is the confidence that your Creator has already orchestrated every detail of your life. The struggle is not in waiting, but in your resistance to trust. Your mind, conditioned by the world, has been taught to fear lack, to chase outcomes, to fight for control. But you were never meant to live in a constant state of striving. When you fully give it to God, when you lay it down without picking it up again, you shift into divine ease. The reason many remain in cycles of frustration is that they pray but do not believe. They speak words of faith but entertain thoughts of doubt. They ask for a breakthrough but continue to hold on to past disappointments. But faith demands a full commitment. It demands that you walk as if it is already done, that you speak as if you have already received, that you move as though the door has already been opened. This is where transformation takes place. The moment you no longer look at the world around you for confirmation, but instead hold steadfast to the unseen truth, miracles become inevitable. God does not delay. It is not a matter of if, but when, and the timing is always perfect. What you call a delay is actually preparation. What you see as a setback is divine alignment. When you surrender to God's timing, you step into a reality where everything is working in your favor. The very thing that seemed impossible begins to unfold effortlessly. You do not have to figure out the how. You do not need to chase, force, or strive. The moment you give it over to God, the weight is lifted, the way is cleared, and what was once beyond reach becomes yours. The mind will always seek evidence before it believes. It wants proof. It wants to see results before it lets go of fear. But faith does not work that way. Faith moves before there is proof. Faith walks before the path is visible. Faith speaks before the manifestation. And this is why few truly experience the power of God, because they refuse to believe beyond what they can see. But the unseen is where the power is. As the unseen is where creation happens. The unseen is where what you have prayed for is already finished. You must stop looking at circumstances as truth. You must stop measuring your faith by what your eyes perceive, because what is visible now is simply a reflection of past thoughts, past fears, past beliefs. But the moment you shift, the moment you stand firm in faith and refuse to waver, the entire course of your life changes. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you, waiting for you to stop doubting, waiting for you to stop looking at lack, waiting for you to stop worrying, because the moment you truly let go, He moves. The moment you step aside, the impossible is made possible. Look at the stories of faith throughout time. Every miracle, every breakthrough, every manifestation was preceded by absolute trust. It was never by effort, never by struggle, never by fear, but by faith. The walls of Jericho fell not by force, but by obedience. The Red Sea parted not by logic, but by divine command. The sick were healed, the blind received sight, the dead were raised, not because of striving, but because of faith. The same God who performed miracles then is the same God who moves today. Nothing has changed except the willingness of people to believe. You must get to the place where doubt is no longer an option, where fear has no space in your mind, where worry is foreign to your spirit. And the only way to get there is to train yourself in faith, to speak life no matter what, to declare victory before the battle is won, to give thanks before the answer arrives. Because when you do, you are no longer operating in human limitation. You are stepping into divine power. And that is where mountains move. That is where prayers are answered. That is where the impossible bows to the name of the one who makes all things possible. The greatest test of faith is not in asking, but in trusting after you ask. Anyone can pray, anyone can hope, but how many can release it and walk away in peace? How many can truly believe without the need to see? This is where true power lies. The moment you release worry, the moment you let go of fear, the moment you stop trying to control every outcome, heaven moves on your behalf. Your job was never to figure it out. Your job was never to make it happen. Your job was to believe, to hold on to the promise, to stand unwavering in trust. Many are trapped in cycles of anxiety because they pray but do not rest. They ask but continue to fear. They seek but do not expect. But when you have faith, real faith, you can sleep in the middle of the storm. You can be at peace when nothing makes sense. You can walk boldly even when the path is unclear, because you know. You know that God has already made a way. You know that even when everything appears stagnant, divine movement is happening behind the scenes. You know that what was spoken over your life will come to pass. And that knowing is the key. Faith is not hoping that something will happen. It is knowing that it already has. It is walking with the confidence that what you seek is already yours, that what you have prayed for is already done, that what you have released to God is now in His hands, and He will bring it to pass in the most perfect way, at the most perfect time. There is no more need for worry, no more need for stress, no more need to question. You do not need to keep checking, keep doubting, keep asking if it will happen. It is already done. The moment you gave it to God, the answer was set in motion. The human mind will always want to intervene. It will always want to analyze, to solve, to take control. But this is where faith overrides logic. This is where you must resist the urge to take back what you have already placed in divine hands. Because the moment you interfere, the moment you doubt, you create resistance. But when you leave it in God's hands, without hesitation, without anxiety, without second guessing, you open the floodgates of divine manifestation. There is no need to struggle anymore. No need to battle in your own strength. No need to figure it all out. Give it to God. Release it completely. Let go of the need to understand, the need to control, the need to see immediate results. Because the moment you do, you will witness the impossible become possible. You will see doors open that no man can shut. You will experience breakthroughs that defy human logic. You will know without a doubt that the secret was never in striving but in surrender. The secret was never in worry but in trust. The secret was never in forcing but in believing. And when you truly give it to God, when you finally let go, you will see the power of faith in action, and nothing will ever be the same again. When you finally surrender, when you truly let go and trust, you will see that everything was always working in your favor. The battles you thought you had to fight were already won. The doors you struggled to open were already unlocked. The blessings you chased were already prepared for you. It was never about effort. It was about alignment. It was about stepping into the flow of divine power, where all things are made possible. So release the weight, let go of the fear, silence the doubt. Stop trying to control what was never yours to control. God has already made a way. He has already answered. He has already done the impossible. Your only task is to believe, to trust, and to walk forward with unwavering faith. Because the moment you do, you will witness miracles beyond your imagination. And you will know that giving it to God was the best decision you ever made. There is something profound about the stillness of the early morning hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. It is a sacred time, a time when the veil between the conscious and the subconscious is thin, and the world is quiet enough for you to truly hear yourself. This is not a coincidence. If you find yourself awakening during these hours, it is not merely a disturbance of sleep, but a call from the deeper part of you, inviting you to explore the limitless power within. The first thing you must understand is that this is a period of heightened spiritual energy. The universe is inviting you to align your thoughts with your desires, to awaken to the truth that you hold within yourself the power to manifest your deepest dreams. But how do you seize this opportunity? What should you do when you awaken in these early hours? There are 5 steps, 5 simple but powerful actions that can transform these moments into a gateway for manifestation and change in your life. When you wake up in the quiet hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., the first thing to do is simply be still. There is a profound power in that stillness, a sense of peace that cannot be found during the busyness of the day. The world is silent, the usual distractions have faded away, and it's as if the universe itself has paused, waiting for you to tune in. This is no ordinary moment. When you awaken during these hours, it's not by accident or mere coincidence. Something deep within you, a force that transcends your waking mind, has stirred you from your slumber for a purpose. But to understand this purpose, you must first embrace the quiet. Be still. Don't rush to check the time, don't reach for your phone or allow frustration to rise because your sleep has been interrupted. Instead, sink into the moment, allow your body to remain in its restful state, and let your mind become aware of the space around you. There's a special energy present at this time, a subtle vibration that you can tap into. It's an invitation to go inward, to explore the depths of your consciousness, and to connect with the part of you that is infinite, boundless, and endlessly creative. As you lie there breathing deeply, you might begin to notice how different this moment feels compared to other parts of the day. The air seems stiller, the quiet more profound. You are not merely resting in your bed, you are resting in the vastness of your own being. This stillness is not just physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual. It is a stillness that allows you to hear the whispers of your soul, the inner voice that is often drowned out by the noise of daily life. In this stillness, you can sense that time itself feels different. There's a slowing down, a stretching of moments, as if time is no longer a sequence of events but a vast, open space in which you exist. It is here, in this timeless space, that you have the opportunity to plant the seeds of your desires. You are no longer bound by the limits of your waking mind, by the pressures and worries that often cloud your thoughts during the day. Here, in this sacred hour, your mind is open, receptive, and ready to embrace the truth of who you really are. What is the truth you must acknowledge in this moment? It is the truth that you are more than just your physical body, more than just the sum of your daily thoughts and actions. You are a being of infinite potential, capable of creating and shaping your reality through the power of your mind. The moment you wake up during these early hours, you are given a reminder of this truth. It is as if the universe itself is nudging you awake, saying, remember who you are. Remember the power you hold. In that stillness, you realize that everything you experience in the outer world first begins within you. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, these are the building blocks of your reality. And when you wake up at this special time, your mind is in its most receptive state. The usual defenses of the conscious mind, with all its doubts and fears, are not as strong. You are more connected to the deeper layers of your being, to the subconscious mind that is always at work, silently shaping your experiences. So in this stillness, acknowledge the moment for what it is, an opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to plant the seeds of what you want to manifest in your life. There is a reason you have woken up at this hour, and it is not to be ignored. Your soul is asking you to pay attention, to listen to the inner guidance that is always there but often overlooked. Take this moment to recognize the immense power you have to shape your reality. The thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, the beliefs you hold, they are all part of the creative process. In the stillness of this hour, you can more easily align with the truth that you are the creator of your life. The outer world is simply a reflection of your inner state. If you wish to change your external circumstances, you must first change what is happening within you. And this moment, when you are awake and aware in the early hours, is the perfect time to begin that change. As you breathe deeply, feel the energy within you. It is subtle yet powerful. This is the energy of creation, the energy that flows through everything in existence. You are a part of this energy, and it is always available to you, ready to respond to your intentions. But to harness it, you must first acknowledge it. You must be aware of its presence within you and around you. In this stillness, you are reminded that there is no separation between you and the universe. You are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant in its unfolding. The universe responds to your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. And in this quiet moment, you have the opportunity to direct that response. By simply being still and acknowledging the power that lies within you, you are already beginning the process of creation. It is important to understand that this stillness is not empty. It is not a void, but a space filled with infinite possibilities. In this moment, you have the ability to choose what you want to experience. You can decide to let go of any limiting beliefs, any doubts or fears that have been holding you back. You can choose to align yourself with the truth of abundance, love, success, and joy. And as you lie there, in the stillness of the early morning, you can begin to feel these new truths taking root within you. Acknowledge the moment for what it is, a doorway into the deeper dimensions of your being. This is not just a random interruption of your sleep, but a powerful opportunity to connect with your higher self, to tap into the creative power that is always flowing through you. When you wake up at this time, the universe is offering you a gift. It is giving you the chance to remember who you truly are, to remember the power you hold to shape your reality. In this stillness, allow yourself to feel the presence of your desires already fulfilled. Imagine that everything you have ever wanted is already yours, that it exists within you right now, waiting to be brought into the physical world. This is not a time to worry or fret about the details of how your desires will manifest. It is simply a time to acknowledge that they are already done, that the universe is already working on your behalf to bring them into being. As you lie there, breathing deeply and embracing the stillness, you are aligning yourself with the truth of your own creative power. You are acknowledging that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances, but that you have the ability to shape your own reality from within. This is the truth that the universe is reminding you of in these early morning hours. It is a truth that, when fully embraced, can transform your life. So when you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., do not rush to get back to sleep. Do not dismiss the moment as insignificant. Instead, be still. Acknowledge the power of the moment. Acknowledge the power within you. And know that you are being given a rare and precious opportunity to create your reality in alignment with your deepest desires. When you find yourself awake in the quiet hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., there is a reason. It is a moment when your mind is most receptive, your consciousness most open, and the barriers between the physical world and the unseen realms are at their thinnest. In this sacred time, one of the most powerful things you can do is to visualize your desired outcome. Visualization is not merely daydreaming or wishing. It is a purposeful act of creation. The images you hold in your mind during these quiet moments are not passive thoughts, they are seeds planted deep within your consciousness, destined to grow and take form in your reality. Your mind, particularly during this time, is like fertile soil, ready to receive the seeds of your desires. But to plant these seeds properly, you must do so with intention and clarity. As you lie still, begin by focusing on your breathing. Allow yourself to sink deeper into a relaxed state, where your mind is calm and clear. This is essential because in this state of stillness, your thoughts are unencumbered by the worries, doubts, or fears that often cloud your mind during the waking hours. Your awareness is heightened, your connection to your subconscious mind is stronger, and this is where true creation begins. Now begin to form the image of what you desire in your mind. Do not think of it as something that you are hoping for in the future. Instead, see it as if it is happening right now. Feel it as if it is already a part of your reality. The key to powerful visualization is not to project your desires into some distant future, but to bring them into the present moment, to make them real in your mind right now. The moment you begin to see your desires as already accomplished, you step into the role of the creator, directing the energy of the universe to align with your vision. In these early hours, your mind is less resistant to new ideas. The filters that often block your connection to your higher self, those ingrained patterns of thinking that limit what you believe is possible, are not as strong. This is the perfect time to bypass those limitations and plant the image of your desired outcome directly into your subconscious mind. The subconscious, unlike the conscious mind, does not question, doubt, or analyze. It accepts what is impressed upon it and begins to work immediately to bring it into your experience. As you visualize, immerse yourself fully in the scene of your desired outcome. Don't just see it from a distance, as if watching a movie. Step into it. Become a participant in the scene. See the world through your own eyes as if the thing you desire has already manifested. If you are visualizing a new home, imagine yourself walking through the rooms, feeling the texture of the walls, hearing the sounds around you, smelling the fresh air. Engage all of your senses. The more vivid and real the experience feels to you, the more powerful the impact it will have on your subconscious mind. It's important to understand that your mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined. To your subconscious, the experience of living in your desired reality, even if it only exists in your mind at this moment, is just as real as anything in your physical world. This is why it is essential to not only see your desired outcome, but to feel it. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already realized. If you are visualizing a career success, feel the pride and satisfaction that comes with it. If you are visualizing a loving relationship, feel the warmth, joy, and connection as if it is already yours. The emotions you generate during your visualization are just as important as the images themselves. Emotion is the fuel that drives creation. When you feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude for your desires as if they are already realized, you send a powerful signal to the universe. You are not asking for something that may or may not happen. You are declaring that it is already yours. This shift in perception from wanting to having is what allows your desires to move from the realm of thought into physical reality. As you continue to visualize, do not allow doubt or fear to enter your mind. If thoughts arise that question whether what you are imagining is possible, gently push them aside. In this moment, all things are possible. The limits you perceive in your waking life do not exist in the realm of your imagination. Here you are free to create without restriction. The only thing that can hold you back is your own disbelief, so choose to believe fully in the reality of your vision. It is also essential to visualize the outcome, not the process. Focus on the end result, the feeling of having your desire fulfilled, not on how it will come to pass. The how is not your concern. The universe has infinite ways to bring your desires into being, ways that you cannot possibly foresee or understand from your current perspective. When you focus too much on how your desires will manifest, you introduce resistance. You limit the universe by trying to control the process. Instead, trust that as long as you hold the image of your desired outcome clearly in your mind, the universe will arrange the details in ways that are beyond your comprehension. As you lie in stillness, visualizing your desired outcome, you are participating in one of the most profound acts of creation. You are aligning yourself with the truth that all things exist within you, waiting to be brought forth into physical form. The outer world is simply a mirror reflecting your inner state. When you hold a clear, focused image of your desire, combined with the feeling of its reality, you are creating a new blueprint for your life. And because the subconscious mind is so powerful during these early hours, the impact of your visualization is magnified. The seeds you plant now will grow faster and stronger than at any other time. Remember, you are not waiting for something to happen. You are not hoping that your desires will come to pass. You are actively creating them here and now. Every time you visualize, you are reinforcing the reality of your desire in your subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind will work tirelessly to bring that vision into your experience. It will guide you, often in subtle ways, to the people, opportunities, and situations that will help bring your desire into form. You may not always be aware of how it is working, but trust that it is. In the moments when you wake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., use this time to visualize with purpose and intention. See your desires as already real. Feel the emotions of having them. Immerse yourself in the experience fully and trust that what you are creating in your mind is already on its way to you. The power to create your reality lies within you, and in these quiet hours you are closest to that power. In those quiet hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and 5 a.m., when the world around you is still, you find yourself in a sacred space of opportunity, a time when the veil between the conscious and subconscious mind is at its thinnest. During these moments, you have the extraordinary ability to shape your reality by speaking affirmations with conviction. The words you speak are not mere sounds, they are the carriers of your creative power, the blueprint through which your reality unfolds. To speak an affirmation is to declare something as true, regardless of what the external circumstances might suggest. But the power of an affirmation lies not just in the words you say, but in the conviction with which you speak them. In the early hours of the morning, your conscious mind is still quiet, your ego not fully awake. And this is the time to speak directly to your subconscious, the realm where all true creation begins. This is the time to implant the seeds of the reality you wish to experience. When you speak affirmations, you are engaging in a deliberate act of creation. Your words shape your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your world. But to create effectively, you must speak your affirmations with unwavering certainty, as if the reality you are affirming already exists. The moment you begin to doubt, you dilute the power of your words. Conviction is what moves an affirmation from mere wishful thinking into the realm of creation. As you wake in the early morning hours, begin by focusing on your breath. Let the stillness of the world around you fill your mind, and allow yourself to settle into a space of calm. This is not a time for haste or urgency. Creation happens in a space of peace, of quiet knowing. Once you have quieted your mind, begin to speak your affirmations out loud or in your mind, but speak them with authority, as if you are speaking a command that must be obeyed. The key is to speak in the present tense, as if what you are affirming is already true. Do not say, "I will be successful," for this places your success in the future, always just out of reach. Instead, say, "I am successful," and feel the truth of those words in the present moment. Your subconscious mind does not understand time the way your conscious mind does. It only knows the present. When you declare something is true right now, your subconscious begins to align your reality to match that truth. Feel the power in your words. As you speak, allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with the reality you are affirming. If you are affirming abundance, feel the sense of security, the freedom, and the joy that comes with having all your needs met. If you are affirming health, feel the vitality and strength flowing through your body. Emotion is the force that gives life to your words. Without emotion, your affirmations are like seeds scattered on dry ground. But when you speak with feeling, you water those seeds, giving them the nourishment they need to grow and flourish. Understand that your words have creative power because they are expressions of the deeper truth within you. Your external world is a reflection of your inner state, and when you speak with conviction, you are declaring that inner state to be one of certainty, one of creation. You are no longer waiting for things to change, you are commanding that they change. This is not arrogance, but a deep understanding of the power you hold as a creator. Conviction in your affirmations also requires that you release any attachment to the current circumstances around you. It does not matter if, at this moment, your outer world looks nothing like the reality you are affirming. In fact, it is often when your external world seems most opposed to your desires that your affirmations are most needed. Do not be swayed by appearances. The outer world is always in flux, always changing in response to your inner state. By speaking affirmations with conviction, you are not responding to what is, you are declaring what will be. As you repeat your affirmations, let them become a mantra a rhythm that syncs with your breath, with the beat of your heart. Repetition is a powerful tool for impressing your subconscious mind. The more you repeat an affirmation with conviction, the deeper it sinks into your subconscious, where it begins to shape your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your reality. But it is not enough to mindlessly repeat the words. Each time you say them, feel them as truth. Speak them as if you are planting seeds in the soil of your subconscious, seeds that will inevitably grow and bear fruit. The power of your affirmations lies in your ability to believe in them fully, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. You must train yourself to speak your affirmations from a place of inner knowing, not outer observation. The external world is simply a mirror of your inner beliefs, and it will change to reflect the truths you affirm with conviction. But you must first speak those truths into existence. There may be moments when doubt arises, when your mind tries to tell you that what you are affirming is impossible, unrealistic, or too far away. In those moments, remind yourself that your words have power beyond what your conscious mind can comprehend. The universe responds not to your doubts, but to your convictions. When you speak with certainty, you are aligning yourself with the forces of creation that govern all things. You are tapping into the infinite potential that lies within you, the power to shape your reality according to your will. As you continue to speak your affirmations, you will begin to notice shifts, sometimes subtle, sometimes profound, in your outer world. Opportunities may arise seemingly out of nowhere. People may come into your life to help you along your path, or circumstances may suddenly align in your favor. These are not coincidences, they are the direct result of the creative power of your words. The universe is responding to the truth you have declared with conviction. But do not become attached to the timing or the form in which your affirmations manifest. Trust that as long as you continue to speak with conviction, the universe will bring your desires to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Your role is not to control how or when your affirmations will come to pass, but simply to speak them as truth and trust in the process of creation. In the early hours of the morning, when the world is quiet and your mind is still, speak your affirmations with conviction. Declare your reality as you wish it to be, not as it appears to be. Feel the truth of your words as if they are already real, and let the power of your conviction move mountains. In these moments, you are not a passive observer of life, you are an active creator, shaping your world with the power of your words. Your affirmations are the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between the formless and the formed. They are the tools through which you bring your desires into reality. Speak them with authority, with certainty, and with unwavering belief, knowing that as you do, you are aligning yourself with the limitless creative power of the universe. And as you continue to speak your affirmations with conviction, you will see your world transform to match the truth you have declared. When you enter the sacred space of creation, there is a fundamental principle that you must embrace the necessity of releasing and trusting the process. This may seem like a paradox, for you are a deliberate creator, one who shapes and molds reality with intention. Yet, once you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, you must allow it to grow without interference. To release and trust is not to relinquish your power, but to align with the natural flow of universal law, the unseen forces that work ceaselessly to bring your desires into form. In the act of releasing, you are not giving up your desire or forsaking your vision. Rather, you are stepping into a deeper understanding of the creative process. When you release, you signal to the universe that you trust in its ability to orchestrate the perfect unfolding of your desire. You are no longer trying to control or manipulate the outer world to force a specific outcome. Instead, you are allowing the natural order of things to bring your creation into being at the right time and in the right way. Releasing is an act of faith. It is the recognition that once you have impressed your desire upon the subconscious mind, the wheels of creation have already begun to turn. The seed has been planted, and it is now in the care of the unseen forces that govern all things. Just as a farmer plants a seed and trusts that it will grow, you must plant the seed of your desire and trust that it will manifest. The farmer does not dig up the seed every day to check its progress. He knows that the seed will grow in its own time, and he tends to it with care, but without impatience. So too must you tend to your desire with faith, not with anxiety or doubt. When you release your desire to the universe, you are surrendering the need to control every aspect of its manifestation. This is not a passive surrender, but an active one. It requires deep inner strength to let go of the need to see immediate results, to let go of the temptation to interfere with the process. But in doing so, you align yourself with the rhythm of the universe, the natural ebb and flow that governs all creation. You recognize that the universe is far more intelligent and capable than the limited perspective of your conscious mind, and that it knows the perfect way to bring your desire into being. Trusting the process means that you allow space for your desire to unfold without resistance. Resistance is born from fear that your desire will not manifest, fear that you are not worthy, or fear that something will go wrong. But when you trust the process, you release this fear. You step into a state of knowing, a state of deep inner peace, where you understand that your desire is already in motion, that it is already on its way to you. You no longer feel the need to push or strive, you simply allow. In the moments of waiting, it is easy to fall into doubt. You may wonder why things are not happening as quickly as you had hoped, or why external circumstances seem unchanged. But remember, the outer world is always the last to shift. The real work happens within. As long as you continue to nurture the belief in your desire, as long as you remain aligned with the feeling of its fulfillment, the outer world will eventually reflect that inner state. But you must be patient. The process of creation is like a river flowing toward the ocean. It cannot be rushed, but it is always moving. Trusting the process also means that you release any attachment to how your desire will manifest. The conscious mind often tries to dictate the terms of manifestation, imagining that there is only one way for a desire to come to fruition. But the universe operates with infinite intelligence, far beyond the scope of the conscious mind. When you release the need to control the how, and when you open yourself to the limitless possibilities that the universe can provide, your job is not to figure out the details, but to hold the vision, to keep the feeling of fulfillment alive, and to trust that the universe will take care of the rest. This release is not an abandonment of your desire, but a deepening of your connection to it. You are allowing the process to unfold naturally, without the interference of doubt or impatience. You are saying to the universe, I trust you. I know that what I have asked for is already mine, and I allow it to come to me in the perfect way and at the perfect time. In this state of trust, you are at peace. You are no longer in a state of lack or need, but in a state of abundance and fulfillment. You know that your desire is already on its way to you, and you rest in that knowing. Releasing also means that you stop looking to the outer world for validation. The outer world is a reflection of your past thoughts and beliefs. It may take time for the outer world to catch up with your new inner state, but that does not mean that your desire is not manifesting. Trusting the process means that you keep your focus on the inner world, where true creation happens. You do not need to see immediate results in the outer world to know that your desire is unfolding. Trust in the unseen forces at work, knowing that they are arranging everything perfectly on your behalf. As you release and trust, you will find that life flows more easily. You are no longer struggling or striving against the current, but allowing the current to carry you toward your desired destination. This does not mean that you do nothing. It means that your actions are inspired, not forced. You act from a place of alignment, a place of knowing that everything is working out for you. You take steps when they feel right, but you do not act out of fear or desperation. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a deliberate creator who trusts in the process of manifestation. The act of releasing is one of the most powerful steps in the creative process, for it signals to the universe that you are ready to receive. You have done your part, you have set your intention, you have felt the fulfillment of your desire, and now you allow the universe to do its part. You trust that everything is unfolding in divine order, and you release any need to control or force the outcome. In this state of trust, you are aligned with the natural flow of creation. You are no longer creating from a place of lack or need, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. You understand that the universe is always working in your favor, even when it may not appear so on the surface. And as you release and trust, you open yourself to receive not only your specific desire, but all the blessings that the universe has in store for you. The process of creation is a dance between intention and surrender, between desire and trust. When you release and trust the process, you step into the flow of that dance, allowing the universe to bring your desires into being in the most perfect way. You understand that the journey is just as important as the destination, and you enjoy the unfolding of your creation with peace and joy. As you complete your process of visualization, affirmation, and releasing your desire, there is one more crucial element to integrate into your practice before you drift back into sleep: gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that amplifies everything you are calling into your life. It is the recognition of the abundant flow of the universe, the acknowledgement that you are already blessed, and that everything you desire is already yours. When you express gratitude before falling back asleep, you are aligning yourself with the highest vibration of fulfillment and abundance. Gratitude is not merely a polite gesture or a fleeting feeling, it is an acknowledgement of the truth that what you seek has already been given. It is the state of being in which you recognize that everything in your experience, whether seen or unseen, is perfectly aligned to bring about your desires. As you lay your head on the pillow and express gratitude, you are affirming that the creative power within you is already at work, bringing forth the fulfillment of your intentions. When you feel gratitude, you send a clear signal to the universe that you are not lacking in anything, that you are not chasing after desires from a place of emptiness. Rather, you are acknowledging the abundance that already surrounds you and lives within you. In this state, you are no longer striving or yearning, you are receiving. You are not waiting for some future moment when your desires will manifest. You are embodying the feeling of already having them. The more deeply you can feel this gratitude, the more you align with the reality you wish to experience. As you fall back asleep, allow yourself to immerse fully in this feeling of gratitude. Let it wash over you like a gentle wave, carrying you into a peaceful, restful state. You might begin by mentally thanking the universe for the things you already have in your life: your health, your relationships, your accomplishments. But do not stop there. Move beyond what is already in your physical reality and give thanks for the things that are yet unseen. Express gratitude for the fulfillment of your desires, as if they have already manifested. Thank the universe for the joy, success, love, or abundance that you have called forth. Feel the deep sense of appreciation for the way in which your desires have already been fulfilled on the invisible plane, and trust that they will soon materialize in your external world. This practice of gratitude is not merely a tool to trick the universe into giving you what you want. It is a profound shift in consciousness that aligns you with the truth of who you are: a creator who has the power to shape reality through belief and feeling. As you dwell in gratitude, something magical happens. Your mind and body relax, your thoughts become quiet, and you enter a state of allowing. In this state, you are no longer resistant to the flow of life. You are open, receptive, and trusting. This is the state from which your desires manifest effortlessly. The more you cultivate this feeling of gratitude, the more your subconscious mind is impressed with the idea that your desires are already fulfilled, and it begins to reorganize reality to reflect that truth. When you fall asleep in gratitude, you are planting seeds of abundance in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. While you sleep, your subconscious is at work, processing the feelings and images you have impressed upon it. It is creating new patterns of thought, new beliefs, and new circumstances that will bring your desires into physical reality. By expressing gratitude before you sleep, you are ensuring that your subconscious is focused on fulfillment, not lack. You are directing it to work in harmony with your intentions rather than in opposition to them. As you fall back asleep, feel the warmth of gratitude in your heart. Imagine that your heart is a radiant beacon of light, sending out waves of appreciation to the universe. With every breath, you deepen your connection to this feeling, allowing it to expand and fill your entire being. You are not merely thinking about gratitude, you are embodying it. You are becoming the vibration of abundance, which naturally attracts more abundance into your life. Gratitude is not only a tool for manifesting your desires, it is also a gateway to deeper peace and contentment. When you feel grateful, you recognize that everything in your life is unfolding in perfect order. Even the challenges and obstacles you face are part of the divine plan, helping you grow and evolve into the person you need to be to receive your desires. Gratitude dissolves fear, worry, and doubt, replacing them with a sense of trust and well-being. As you fall back asleep, let go of any lingering concerns or anxieties and rest in the knowing that all is well. In this state of gratitude, you are deeply connected to the infinite source of creation. You are in harmony with the divine intelligence that governs the universe, and you are allowing that intelligence to work through you. You do not need to know exactly how or when your desires will manifest. You simply trust that they will. You trust that the universe is working behind the scenes, arranging everything perfectly on your behalf. As you sleep, you rest in this trust, knowing that when you awaken, you will be one step closer to the realization of your dreams. Falling back asleep with gratitude is also a way of reinforcing the feeling that you already have what you desire. Remember, in the process of creation, feeling is everything. The more deeply you can feel the emotions associated with having your desire, the more quickly it will manifest. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions because it signifies that you already have what you want. It is the energy of completion, of fulfillment. When you fall asleep in this state, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive, that you are already in alignment with your desires. As you drift into sleep, allow yourself to surrender completely to this feeling of gratitude. Let go of any thoughts of how or when your desires will come. Trust that the process is already underway and that the universe is working in ways you cannot yet see. Feel the peace that comes from knowing that you are taken care of, that everything is unfolding in your favor. You do not need to do anything more, simply relax and allow the universe to deliver your desires to you. In the morning, when you awaken, you will feel a deep sense of renewal and clarity. The gratitude you cultivated before sleep will have permeated your subconscious mind, and you will carry that vibration into your day. You will notice subtle shifts in your perception, in your interactions, and in the opportunities that present themselves to you. The outer world will begin to reflect the inner state of gratitude and fulfillment that you cultivated as you fell asleep. This practice of falling asleep with gratitude is a simple yet profound way to accelerate the manifestation of your desires. It aligns you with the natural flow of abundance, helps you release resistance, and allows you to trust the process of creation. It is a reminder that you are already abundant, already fulfilled, and that everything you desire is already on its way to you. In the end, the practice of waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is not a mere coincidence. It's an invitation from the deeper realms of consciousness. By being still and acknowledging the moment, you create space for divine connection. Visualizing your desired outcome allows you to shape your reality through the power of imagination. Speaking affirmations with conviction reinforces the truth of what you believe you already possess. Releasing and trusting the process is essential to surrendering your control and allowing the universe to orchestrate the details. And finally, falling back asleep with gratitude aligns you with the vibration of abundance, solidifying your desires in the subconscious. These steps are not simply tasks to be checked off, they represent a way of living, of being in alignment with the natural flow of creation. By engaging in this practice during the early morning hours, when the veil between the conscious and subconscious is thinnest, you become a deliberate creator of your reality. Remember, it's not about forcing results, but about trusting in the deeper wisdom that governs the universe. Everything you seek is already within you, waiting to unfold. Trust, believe, and rest in the knowing that all is well. The process is always working in your favor.